most frequent questions that's given to me every time when visitors come to the garden is, how do you do this? I would love to grow plants at home, but my soil is terrible. It's just dirt. Nothing will grow in it. It's as hard as a rock, or it's rocky, it's clay, it's mucky, everything's wrong with my soil. Well, when I first bought this farm just a few years ago, the soil wasn't great either. It was very clayey. In the summer it would crack and dry, and we'd have to use a pickaxe to break into the soil. But the way you create soil that nurtures plants is to encourage life into the soil. So the way to do that is to have the right mineral balance, so a soil test can be helpful. And then bringing in organic matter. And you're not so much bringing in the organic matter to feed the plants, but to feed the microbes in the soil. And before long, and it won't take very long at all, your soil will go from a very hard clay to what I'll show you now. I can just take my gloved hand and dig right into the soil. It's compost that we use. It comes from American Soil Products. It's their harvest blend, and it's certified organic. If I had my own homemade garden-grown compost, that would be preferable, but when we run out, this is a good substitute. So this is what beautiful live soil looks like. We've been tilling this soil and growing in it now for almost 7 years. We've incorporated compost and oyster shell to help loosen up the clay. And now all we need to do is add ½ inch of compost and then our supplements, which include feather meal and a little bit more oyster shell, to keep it growing and healthy every year. So it has really good tilth because there's a lot of microorganisms in the soil, a full complement. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, and it crawls with life if you look up close. Yeah, back it goes into the ground. So as you can see at this point, when we first had to dig this up, it was quite an effort. It would take one person 8 hours to dig a bed this size. But now in about ½ an hour we can do a whole bed if we put our minds to it. So wood chips are always a good thing to bring into your soil. It's a very long-lasting organic matter, so we use it everywhere where we have our pathways in the garden and on the top of some of the soil. And it breaks down very slowly, but it feeds especially the fungi in your soil, which is really important. And that fungi builds networks, so it helps with incorporation of minerals and moisture into the soil. A pile of oak wood chips that were brought to us about 6 months ago in the winter time. So it got rained on and it's now partially decomposed. It makes a great addition to the garden. The things when you bring in a lot of woody matter into your soil is that the microbes have to work really hard to break it down, and because of that they use up all the nitrogen in your soil sometimes until they've broken down that wood. So if you're going to bring wood into your garden, don't actually mix it into the soil, because it will tend to take all the nitrogen to break down that wood rather than feed your plants. But use it instead just on the surface, where gradually over time it breaks down and it won't take the nitrogen away from your plants. What I spread on the ground was something that's going to provide a lot of nitrogen, so feather meal and also a little bit of oyster shell to balance the minerals in our soil. If you love videos like this and want to see more, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.